Hello, and welcome back to Harriet's Custom Computer Art Plus. If this is your first time, welcome and thank you for stopping by. I also want to thank every subscriber for getting me to 2,000 subscribers, over 2,000 now, and I am really, really appreciative. I appreciate the support. I received quite a few requests to show how I made the movie snack box that I made for this Harry Potter birthday theme. So I'm going to show you how to do that right quick. Now, I do things from scratch, even though I could probably find some of the items already made. I like doing things from scratch. I do find my graphics, a lot of my graphics online, and then those I can't find, I can create. All right, so let's get started. So I'm going to be making this box, the snack box, and showing you how to do that right quickly. It's really simple to make. First of all, I'll start off with the base, and I made the base using this stripe pattern because when I looked up Harry Potter, it showed that a lot of the coloring for some of his items is burgundy and gold. So I just found some stripes, and as you can see, the screen has frozen. So I'm just going to open up anything, don't make any changes, and all of a sudden it moves again. So all I did was this was I made put a couple of these together to make a full page. Then I just drew out all the black by going to, I'm going too fast, by going to cut out and pictures, cut out of picture by color selection. And then I just clicked on all similar areas and pulled out all of the white. And I'm going to leave it on this page. So therefore I need to take the check mark from this box. If I'd left the check mark in, it would put it on a new page, but I want to keep everything here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit done, and I'm keeping those black spots. Now I had brought up a square of burgundy and a square of this gold, but since I don't have that, I'm just going to pull this one up and show you how I made this with that grungy look. So I'm going to go to paint and color effects, and I'm going to go to fill with the solid color. First of all, I need to click on the black stripes so that I can change those. So I'm going to go to paint and color effects now and fill with the solid color, and you see it automatically defaults to red, but I'm going to pull the burgundy out. So anything, if you need some color schemes, you can look them up on the internet and then just drop a little sample on the page like I did here, and all you have to do to change your colors is to uh, change it by using the little dropper from the paint and color effects menu. So now all I need to do is change the bottom layer, which is still the black and white layer, as you can see. I'm going to take that back over, and now I need to make the bottom layer the gold. So I'm just going to make a box, drag it down one layer, and I made that box by going to cutout and picture, add a colored shape, and then just choose which shape you want to use. I'm going to get rid of that one, and I've already dragged this one down some, so I'm going to drag it behind the gold bars and just stretch it so that it fills in all the space in between them. Now I want that to be gold, so as you can see, I still have it chosen. You can see the little orange and blue square around it changes depending on when you roll over it. I'm going to go once again to paint and color effects, fill with the solid color. This time I'm going to choose the gold. Now this is not looking too good, but because the crop the way I moved it, but just bear with me. You'll see the the results. So then all I did, I'll get rid of this. All I did was group them together. I'm going to get rid of that by clicking no, I don't want to see it again, which it'll come up next time you open, but for now it will go away. So I'm just going to drag this. I turned it on a diagonal just because I liked the way it looked like that. And then you see this looks too pristine. So I needed it to look grungy because a lot of the things in Harry Potter's world looks kind of grungy. So what I did was I have this picture here with all the different graphics that I found online, and I just typed in grunge, and it brought up different pictures of just grunge and grime like this. So I'm going to go back to my example, and all I did was drag that grunge up to the stripe pattern I made. I covered the full page with it, and then I went over here to special effects, make transparent, and as I drag my slider across toward the right, it becomes more and more transparent. So I wanted it to just be transparent enough to see the gold and the red underneath, but give it the grunge effect. Then once I had the grunge effect, I just grouped the whole thing. You can uh, kind of drag out and drag from top to bottom to group them, or you can just click on one, hold the CTRL button, click on the bottom one, and then click the puzzle piece to close it up. And then I went here uh, to touch up brightness and contrast, and I gave it some contrast. So the more contrast you give it, the colors became vibrant again because I wanted the colors to be more saturated, and it still kept the grunge look. Not that much contrast because I still want it to look gold. All right, so then I went into paint and color effects, change color, and I just increased the saturation some, and then it made it more vibrant. So next, all I did was save this as a JPEG. So I went to File, Save As, chose the directory I wanted to save it to, and I saved it to the desktop at the time, and give it a name. I'll say Stripes. Change this from by clicking on this arrow, change it by scrolling down until you see JPEG, hit JPEG, and now I'm going to hit save, and it's going to save it to my desktop for me to use later. So this is already the bottom piece of my box. Next, to make the top of the box, I found um, this graphic with all of the names of the houses in, or whatever they call them, the halls, I guess, at in Hogwarts. And so I wanted to make it into a pattern so that I could cover the top of the box. So all I did was open up a new sheet by clicking right here on this blank sheet of paper, and then I drug a few of these up. I'll drag up 6 of them, and then I just align them on my page side by side to make myself a pattern. I'm just doing this kind of quickly, but I want to keep this as a short tutorial. I was just filling in my time while I waited for Cricket to come back up last night after it went down. All right, so now I have my pattern. I can go here to cut out of picture with the cookie cutter shape, and I can crop this out, or just crop out. I think I'll just crop out here. Just 2 more is all that I need. Hit next and done. And then I'm just going to drag this one down here. And now I have my print for the top of my box. And as you can see here, I just put more and more together until I had a large sheet of just a full sheet of just the smaller ones. So next I wanted to do my cutouts. So I just made a black rectangle, a black square, and a black circle. But before I did that, I went to cut out in picture, add a colored shape, and I made it white. And then all I did was put it I left an edge all the way around of the shills, just like that. And I put a shadow around it so that I would know where my fold and my cuts would be. So I'm going to click on it, go to Special Effects Shadow. I'm going to choose a soft edge, and it just drops a nice line around that whole white rectangle. Next, I'm going to bring in my rectangle and my circle and square. So then I went here to cut out in picture. I chose a square, change it to black. While I have it, I'm just going to do a second one so that that could be the one for my candy. And then all I did was put it in place, shrink it down some, took the square, put it in this corner, and then I left this area so that I could put a graphic there. I need a circle, so I'm going to go back to Cutout and Picture, add a colored shape, make it a circle, change it to black. And I'm going to resize it. Resize by any corner to keep the proper proportions. Proportions make a huge difference. If they're out of proportion, it sticks out like like a sore thumb. All right, and then I left this area and that area for my graphics. So all I did to get the graphic for this area was to cut out from this pattern. I just cut out the Harry Potter shield. So I'm going to go back to my box, and I'm going to drag that up and drop it in that corner by resizing it from the corners. And then I also found this picture of Hermione and this guy in Harry Potter. I don't remember his name. And I put it here. They were already grouped, and I just put them right here. And then made another box with the black, with that black square by copying it. And then I just drug it down so that it would have the same distance underneath it that the box with the three of them have, or the pictures with the three of them. So I just drug this up, and I wanted to mimic the space between these lines. So that was just about right. And then in this area, what I often do if I can't find the words that I want, and at the time I hadn't downloaded the Harry Potter font, so I just took the Harry Potter and made party out of it by cropping out the P, the A, the R, and the T, and the Y. So then I had party here. You can see how I pieced it together. And then I cropped this one out so that I had the full word. So I'm going to go back to the box that I'm building, and all I did was drag party up by clicking on the page that had the party on it. Click on the one that you want to drag up, and then just left click, drag, and drop it in your picture. And I didn't like all that white edge around it. It was looking kind of terrible. So what I did was I went to Edge Effect, Highlight Edge, clicked on the thick edge, changed the color to white, shrunk it down a little bit, and as you can see, it got rid of that jagged edge that I did not like. And so I put this down in one corner, and then Harry Potter. Did the same thing with Harry Potter. I'll leave it up so you can see how that edge effect works. Click on Edge Effects, highlight edge, click on the thick edge, click on Customize the edge, choose any color you want, change the thickness of it, and just like that, you have a neat looking graphic. Shrink it down. So you could do it like that. And then I put the birthday person's name here. After I found the Harry Potter font, I downloaded it and I did the person's name in that font. Now I'll give you the exact measurements on this, or actually you can use this design, this portion of it, for any theme you want. All you have to do is keep these three, and then you can have these two sections to decorate any way you want. So now I'll show you how I turned this into a box. Here's the original box I made, and all I did was zoom in a little bit so you can see. And what I did was I just made a light line so that I'm lining up with the corners. And that is my cut line. I didn't do this on the Cricut. I did this just using some scissors and an X-Acto line. So right here, I'll zoom in a little more. You see this gray line right here. And all I did to make that gray line was go once again to cut out a picture, add a colored shape. I made it a square, changed it to a black square. I made it thin enough so that I can just have a slight line. I'll just make it bigger for now so you can see it. So that was the line I made. Then all I did was go to Special Effects, make transparent, and then I just drug this over so that it would just have a faint color. So you wouldn't see it. You would just see the faint coloring. And then all I did was shrink it down so that I could see it well enough to cut. Now all I need to do is repeat it. So I'm going to make it big enough so that I can copy it, and then I'll just drag it to the bottom. Now I'm going to copy this while I have it spread. I'm going to paste it so that I can put one down here as well. So I lined it up, as you can see. I lined it up with this cutout area because I made my cut right here on both sides. And now I'll just shrink this line down so that I can just see it well enough to make my cuts. Do the same thing with this one. And you have the box top for the movie box. All I did was take my X-Acto knife and slice using a ruler from this edge to that edge, and did the same thing to these two edges. I did the same thing from each of these edges diagonally. I didn't cut the center out, but I can. All I would do is cut here, cut across both ways, and then cut at the half mark for each way. So basically it will be cut in this pattern, and that way when the soda cup is put in, it would be able to fit and hold in that spot. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. It was a pretty fast one, but if you want to make it, I'm going to make a template so that I can send it out to anybody who wants to use it, and all you would need to do is put in your graphics. I'll show you how to put it together in the next portion of the tutorial. Now this is such an easy project to make. I'm going to just do a virtual assembly. I kind of like doing those. They save some time, but I will get back when I have more time to doing the real live assemblies. But right now I'm kind of swamped, so I'm going to just show you how easily this goes. So as you can see, I have my cut marks here on just the top half of the movie snack box, and all I did was take the bottom piece and just lined it up with the top piece because I didn't put any lines on the bottom one. I just used the lines on the top one. And then I just took the scissors and cut here, and I'll put how far in I cut. Like, thank you, Horn, for blowing in the middle of my recording. And all I did was cut right to that corner on all sides. Turn this one around. Just right to that corner from the edge on all these sides, just these four sides. Just like that. So after I cut on all these edges, I had also, while this was turned on the side, turns the right side up, I had cut from corner to corner on the rectangle, and also you can faintly see I had cut corner to corner on the box as well. And then I folded these flaps down, leaving the long edge out, and I put glue here, and then press this into place to make the box base. And this is showing you that I did the same thing using the box base. Glue here, here, there, and there, and then this outer edge will be on the outside of the flaps. Next, this is how the piece looked once the edges were glued. And the last thing I did was, you could either put the boxes together and smash it all the way down where just the Harry Potter um, crest were showing in the top, but I wanted the base to show a little bit as well. So I just lightly pressed on the top so that I left just a little bit of the base showing. And then I just took my hot glue gun, and while I used my thumb to hold down the gold and burgundy layer, I just put a little line of glue along the top edge of the gold and burgundy base, and then just softly pressed the edge of the crest against the orange or the burgundy and gold edge. And if I couldn't get it to stick in certain spots, I just put my finger through the cutout in the square or the rectangle, and I was able to hold it together long enough for it to bond. And I did that on both sides, just on the long edge, and you have the completed box. Now, if that was confusing to anybody and you'd like for me to actually assemble one on camera, I can do that. Just leave me a comment in the comment section on the YouTube video tutorial, and I will do that. Also, if you'd like to know how I made this wand, uh, you can leave that in the comments as well, and I will do a tutorial on making the wand and painting it. It was kind of fun to make. So just if you want to know how to make those, just drop me a comment and I will do that. Also, as I've said before, I do take requests. I don't always get to all of them, but I try to get to the ones that are the most requested. Also, I have some tutorials upcoming that are already recorded, oversized, personalized game board, tic-tac-toe, and how I make the bingo boards. They're usually for the children's parties. And right now I'm extremely busy because Father's Day is coming up. So if you would just bear with me. After this holiday, I plan to get some new tutorials up for you to enjoy, but I have that one already done and several more. So I'll be getting those up once I get those edited after the Father's Day holiday has passed. But once again, I want to thank you for stopping by my channel. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. Hit the bell if you'd like to be notified the minute that I have up new tutorials. And until then, take care and I'll see you next time.